Start by planting our feet on the ground if we can, if they reach. Feeling our feet on the floor, feeling our bottoms on our seats, chairs, feeling supported. Then noticing our breath coming in and out of our lungs. Bringing us back into our bodies. Helping us to be present. Feeling the solidity of our bodies, maybe even touching our bodies as we're sitting here. Feel ourselves in this physical form. Resting here, breathing here. Maybe you could stretch a bit. Maybe make a bit of a noise if you want to. Have a bit of a shake. Make sure we're the right temperature. Take my jumper off. And then perhaps checking in and noticing the other people here that are with us. Looking around the screen. Great. So let's begin with the Sufi invocation of Hazrat Inayat Khan, using some expanded words, which if you don't know them, just let them move through you, over you, resonate with you or not, whatever. Anyway, let's say them together. Towards the One. The perfection of love, harmony and beauty, the only being, united with all the illuminated souls who form the embodiment of the Master, the message, the mystery, the miracle, the Mother. The Spirit of Guidance. And let us begin in the name of radiant love and enfolding love. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Bismillah, Bismillah.
Bismillah. So we're going to begin with a song and dance using those words. Bismillah. Irrahman-irrahim.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Allah, 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 Allah.
Allah, 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 Allah.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. 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 Allah, 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 Allah. Do join in. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. 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 Allah, 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 Allah. Allah. Coming back to our breath, noticing our breath, noticing our bodies. Ameen. Bismillah.
Welcome to everybody that arrived during that first dance.
Ooh, look, lots of people have arrived.
Good to see you all. So we're continuing our investigation of a pair of the 99 beautiful names, using lots of different dances and practices to help us to understand and to benefit from the gifts they can bring us. So we've been working with them for a couple of weeks now, but still finding so much richness. So these two beautiful names in Arabic are Ya Aliyy and Ya Muta'ali. And so Ya Aliyy is, we could say, transcendence, radiance, the essence, the highest of the high, the essence of all that is in its most refined, radiant, transcendent manifestation. And Ya Muta'ali is the one who can bring us to that place, to that state. We could say this is our true nature, and yet so often in life we forget, we get cut off from that. That's the reality of our experience. We get tied down, weighed down, burdened by everything that's happening in everyday life, and by the blows upon our hearts, the wounds and the suffering that come from meeting other human beings and mixing our lives with them, and the trials and the tribulations, and we become, it's hard to remember, basically. We become cut off from our radiant nature, and it's hard to remember it. So this is the most beautiful gift of Al-Muta'ali, that it helps us to bring us back, to find our way back to that state. So I'm going to share all sorts of different practices and readings and some more dances as well, but I'd like to start by reading a little piece from the book Physicians of the Heart. I'll show you if you're not familiar with this beautiful book, Physicians of the Heart. Salik will write it in the chat so that you have the title of it. It's a book that we go to all the time. Many riches therein. So this is from the chapter on awakening to infinite presence. So it says, Aliyy is the one who is beyond, completely beyond, the one beyond whom there is nothing. Looking at a physical form which is a variation of the root of the word, we find the word Aliyy, which is a she-camel that has sufficient strength to bear a burden. Enough strength. Aliyy also has the meaning of being beyond nobility, rank, or dignity. Above and beyond all of that. The infinite station of realization. That is Aliyy. And yet God is always approaching this, and that is Al-Muta'ali. There's an instructive use of this particular grammatical form that occurs in the Quran. Here it appears in an ecumenical context. Let's join together in what we can agree on. That's what it says in the Quran. Come on, different people of religious persuasions. Come on and let's get together and see what we can agree upon. No matter how high one goes or how much one attains the absolute, there is something more absolute or higher than that. And this is something that we can understand, that when we talk about the God ideal, when we're children, we might have an idea of what God is like. And maybe it's quite like our parents. And as we change and as we go through life, sometimes we become closer to what our ideal of God might have been. And from that viewpoint, we can see a bit further. We can have another vision, a higher aspiration for what God might be. And this is, Aliyy helps us towards this highest of aspirations, understanding the highest nature of what's possible. Just a couple more tiny pieces I want to share. So there's a meaning of Aliyy, which is the one who takes away all sickness. And then they say in this book, the sickness we really are dealing with at the root is caused by an ultimate attachment to ego self. And such a sickness must be worked on directly. We need to learn how to face our jealousy and arrogance. The ultimate sickness is putting our ego self above God. When the self is put prior to God, the ego is put on the divine throne. Invocation of Ya Aliyy reverses that order. God goes above the self. So there's a sense that Al-Aliyy and Al-Muta'ali are dealing with the ego identity. Al-Muta'ali can be seen as a pathway for transcending every layer of ego identity. The personality is like an onion with many layers. Each layer has a certain identity in it. There are many gradations of the I until the core is reached, or what is called the ego identity. This is the crystallized sense of self. Here there is a totally isolated feeling. The ego exists and it is alone. It's the one running the show. It's sitting right on the throne. There's no one else. We call that narcissistic. It makes the false claim, I am God. To make this claim is not exactly arrogant. Actually, it's just naive. It's as if we're saying, I really believe that the universe revolves around me because that's my experience. And psychologically, we know that there's an age when that seems to be true for children, when they're about 1 or 2 years old. They really experience themselves as the center of the universe. So repetition of Ya Aliyy and Ya Muta'ali is the antidote to narcissism. It leads to overcoming our clinging to an egocentric view. The most precious thing in accomplishing this reorientation of perspective is experiencing the universe or God as fully embracing you. So, Ya Aliyy and Ya Muta'ali embody the path to transcendence and omnipotence, transcendence and omnipresence, but they deal with the boundaries of identity. So it's really working on the self, on these problems of the narcissistic wounds of self, which we could say have their roots and origins in that original wound of separation from the beloved. So this pathway back through Ya Muta'ali. And what we understand is that this pathway back is through the soul, or the ruh. And the ruh in Arabic also means the breath. So this pathway to the soul is the breath. So there are so many practices of breath which can help us to touch this transcendence and omnipresence. So let's watch our breath for a moment, if that's comfortable for you to do.
Can I say something?
Of course.
I was just saying, one of the first things that happens when we start to pay attention to our breath is that we notice things about our being that maybe we've hidden from ourselves. So some of the difficulties, the anxieties, tensions, other feelings. So that the first thing that happens is we become better acquainted with our whole selves, which can be a bit uncomfortable. But that's part of the journey.
Mm-hmm.
To more expanded awareness and self-acceptance, which is on the way to the connection with the greater sense of self.
Exactly. The other effect of it can be that sometimes for some people focusing on the breath can be quite disturbing and uncomfortable. So if that's what you find, then ground yourself in your body. Keep coming back to your feet and the feeling.
Sometimes it can help to hold ourselves or stroke ourselves if we're feeling a bit ungrounded or agitated.
And I'm going to suggest that we take our attention. Imagine that we can breathe through the different centers of the body. So this may be an experience that's very familiar for you, or it might be quite new. So if it's new, then at least pretend or imagine that you can do it. So let's first of all breathe through the soles of the feet, sending the breath down into the earth. Drawing up sustenance and support on the in-breath from the earth through the soles of the feet. And we can imagine roots going down from our feet deep into the earth, holding us firm and strong, and also able to absorb nourishment, water and food, strength from the earth. And next time you breathe in, draw the breath all the way up your legs into the root chakra at the base of the spine. And if you're somebody who has a visual imagination, you can imagine a red glow at the base of your spine. Breathing in this center. And let's say together, Ya Muta'ali, Ya Aliyy. Ya Muta'ali, Ya Aliyy. And draw the breath up to the Hara center, the second energy center in the just below the navel, in the belly. Breathing in that center, you might like to imagine an orange glow. And let's place in that center these names: Ya Muta'ali, Ya Aliyy. Ya Muta'ali, Ya Aliyy. And on the next in-breath, drawing the breath up to the solar plexus, just at the bottom of the rib cage. And you might like to imagine a yellow glow. And again, let's repeat these names together in the solar plexus. Ya Muta'ali, Ya Aliyy. And next time you breathe in, drawing the breath up to the heart. As you breathe in the heart center, in the center of the chest, you might like to imagine a green glow, maybe tinged with pink. And again, let's repeat these names, this time in the heart center. Ya Muta'ali, Ya Aliyy. And on your next in-breath, drawing the breath up to the throat. If you like, imagining a beautiful pale blue glowing in the throat center. And let's place these names in this center of communication in the throat. Ya Muta'ali, Ya Aliyy. And on the next in-breath, drawing the breath up to the third eye in the center of the forehead. You might like to imagine a deep indigo glow in this center of guidance and wisdom. And again, placing these names in the third eye this time. Ya Muta'ali, Ya Aliyy. And the next in-breath, drawing the breath up to the crown, the energy center just above the top of the head. Imagining a beautiful violet glow. Let's place these names in the crown. Ya Muta'ali, Ya Aliyy. And now, on the next in-breath, breathing up above the crown into a shower of golden light. Ya Muta'ali, Ya Aliyy. And so let's breathe in, Muta'ali, and then notice the little pause at the end of the in-breath, and then dropping into Aliyy on the out-breath. Breathing in, Muta'ali, little pause. Ali. Breathing in, Muta'ali. Little pause and then breathing out, Ali. And for a few moments, just keeping this pattern going at your own pace. Breathing in, Muta'ali. Noticing the little space at the end of the in-breath, dropping through that space into the out-breath, Ali. As you continue to notice your breathing, I'm just going to read a few words from Lord Shiva talking to Shakti about the mysteries of the universe. Trace the river of life that flows through you, the luxuriously rising energies, gradually touching each of the centers along the spine. Savor every shimmer of color along the way. Enter each area tenderly, loving as you go. Finally, gently dissolving in the crown of the head. Then above, in the space above the head, the great dawn. Amin. Hari Om. So we're going to stay a bit with this mode of operating. I'm going to share one of our favourite practices with you, the Gayatri Mantra. So it's a lot of words. Some of you know it and you'll be able to pick it up. If you don't know it, you may not be able to pick it up. So you can just let it wash over you, or you can join in with the bits that you're able to. Here's a version, a possible translation, so that you can understand what we're singing about. We meditate on that most adorable, desirable, and enchanting luster and brilliance of our supreme being. our source energy, our collective consciousness, who is our creator, inspirer, and source of eternal joy. May this warm and loving light inspire and guide our mind and open our hearts.
Om Bhu,
Om Bhu,
Om Bhuvaha,
Om Bhuvaha,
Om Svaha,
Om Svaha,
Om Maha,
Om Maha,
Om Janaha,
Om Janaha,
Om Tapaha,
Om Tapaha,
Om Satyam,
Om Satyam,
Om Tat Savitur Om Tat Savitur Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Naha Prachodayat Dhiyo Yo Naha Prachodayat
Om Bhu,
Om Bhu,
Om Bhuvaha,
Om Bhuvaha,
Om Svaha,
Om Svaha,
Om Maha,
Om Maha,
Om Janaha,
Om Janaha,
Om Tapaha,
Om Tapaha,
Om Satyam,
Om Satyam, Om Tat Savitur Varenyam Om Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Naha Prachodayat Dhiyo Yo Naha Prachodayat.
So we're going to now invite you to place these words again in the chakras, awakening these energy centers with this mantra, these beautiful vibrations of light. So first, when we say Om Bhu, it's going to be in the root. I'll call each one. You sing it.
Om Bhu,
In the root, Om Bhu.
Om Bhuvaha,
In the Hara, Om Bhuvaha.
Om
In
Svaha,
the solar plexus,
Om Maha,
great one in the heart.
Om Janaha,
In the throat,
Om Tapaha,
the third eye.
Om
In the crown.
Satyam,
And then opening,
Om
bathing in it.
Om Tat Savito Varenya Om Tat Savito Varenya Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Lacha Prachodayat Dhiyo Yo Lacha Prachodayat.
Again in the root. Om Bhur.
Om Bhur
Ahara. Om Bhuvaha.
Om Bhuvaha
Solar plexus. Om Swaha.
Om Swaha
Om Baha.
Om
The throat.
Baha
Om Janaha.
Om
Third eye.
Janaha
Om Tapaha.
Om Tapaha
Om Satyam.
Om Satyam Om Tat Savito Varenya Om Tat Savito Varenya Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Lacha Prachodayat Dhiyo Yo Lacha Prachodayat Dhiyo Yo Lacha Prachodayat Dhiyo Yo Lacha
Ya Muta'ali. Ya Ali. 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 Ya Muta'ali. Ya Ali, Ya Muta'ali, 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 Ya Ali. And again, following the in-breath, and the little pause at the end of the in-breath, this little gateway into infinity, dropping into Ali with the out-breath. Amen. This is the beautiful gift of the breath. It's always with us. our first and last possession. Whenever we remember, we can return to the breath, this guide, this Muta'ali of the breath, taking us to our transcendent reality. One conscious breath is all it takes. I don't know if you heard Salik, he says we could just stop there. We'll just sit together and breathe for the rest of the evening or the rest of the morning, wherever you are right now, afternoon. And we could. But I had a couple of more dances I
Nothing
wanted to
do.
share.
Nowhere to go.
But sometimes it's helpful to have a reminder again about what this state is that is accessible to us in this way. You know, we can reach it together like this. Hopefully we can remember when we leave this space and go out and spend time on our own that it's still available to us. The breath can guide us there. And this next chant and dance uses more words in Sanskrit, which are another pointer towards this transcendence, this radiance. So these are words that are part of a longer mantra. And they mean, or they could be translated like this, that the nature of this radiant being, this divine self, is truth, it is love, it is peace. Peace is all there is. And this is who you are. This is who we are. This is our true nature. So the word for soul or divine radiant self is Atma in Sanskrit. So we say, I am Atma. This is who the soul is. And then we have Satyam, truth. I am Atma, Satyam.
I am Atma Satyam.
And then we have the word for love, Bhakti. I am Atma Bhakti.
I am Atma Bhakti.
And peace, Shanti. I am Atma Shanti.
I am Atma Shanti.
Shanti Om Siddhi.
Shanti Om Siddhi.
Shall we just sing that part?
Mm-hmm.
I am Atma Satyam. I am Atma Bhakti. I am Atma Shanti. Shanti Om Siddhi. Let's sing that together.
I am
Atma Satyam. I am Atma Bhakti. I am Atma Shanti. Shanti Om Siddhi. And then this is the part which means thou art that. Tat Tvam Asi. Tat Tvam Asi. Tat Tvam Asi. Tat Tvam Asi. Shanti Om Siddhi. Tat Tvam Asi. Tat Tvam Asi. Tat Tvam Asi. Shanti Om Siddhi. Let's try it from the beginning. I am Atma Satyam. This being is truth. I am Atma Bhakti. This radiant soul is love. I am Atma Shanti. This being is peace. Shanti Om Siddhi. I am Atma Satya. Feeling our embodied truth. I am Atma Bhakti. Love in the heart. I am Atma Shanti. Peace with the open hands. Shanti Om Siddhi. Tat Tvam Asi. Thou art that. Tat Tvam Asi. Tat Tvam Asi. Shanti Om Siddhi. So we're going to stand up and move to this. If you've got room to do that, then please join us, or you can just do the hand movements, or just let the music wash over you. Whatever works best for you. So we're going to do these big gestures, opening to all of this divine radiance, this full transcendence of who we really are, bringing it down into this form as truth, and again as love, and again as peace, and then bowing with a Namaste, Shanti, Om Siddhi. Let's try that part with the movements. I am Atma Satya. Feeling your truth. I am Atma Bhakti. Love is who you are. I am Atma Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. Shanti Om Siddhi. I am Atma Satya. I am Now we're going to open to all that we are. So remember, thou art that. Stepping back, leaning back, opening to the great reality of who we are. Tat Tvam Asi. Stepping forward, the arms come up. Tat Tvam Asi. Turning to the right, radiating. Tat Tvam Asi. Radiating all that you are. Shanti. Let's sing it to each other. Tat Tvam Asi. Tat Tvam Asi. Thou art that. Tat Tvam Asi. Shanti Om Siddhi. So relaxing our bodies and returning to the breath, the in-breath, the Muta'ali guiding us to the little pause, the crack in the universe, dropping into the transcendence, the luminescence. Ya Aliyy. Thou art that. Tat Tvam Asi. So I wanted to close with a very special, very particular dance. What we know is that when we're in touch with this divine radiance of our being, with all of our truth, our love, our peace, and when we can feel that container around us, holding us, that container of peace and loving strength, then all things are possible. And there's a most beautiful Arabic phrase which was translated by Murshid Samuel Lewis as peace is power. This is what he's talking about, the strength that comes from finding this peace, this equanimity, this true radiant nature of who we are, no matter what the circumstances. And this phrase has become sadly misused. Allahu Akbar, God is great. I feel particularly this week when the people of Afghanistan are suffering and this phrase is being brought out in its polluted form. It feels really important to affirm and clarify the stream of blessing associated with these words. Peace is power. God is greater than all of our experience. We get lost in our small selves and all of the conflicts that arise person to person, country to country. This all falls away when we remember. So with that in mind, let's make this a prayer for peace. Allahu Akbar, Ya Salaam. So peace is needed all over the place. Peace is needed in every heart, but particularly for the people of Afghanistan today. Allahu Akbar, Ya Salaam.
Allahu Akbar, Ya Salaam.
Stand if you choose to join us, or adjust the movements to do them seated. Most of them will work just as you sit. We're going to take a slow crescent with the heart from left to right, and then drop into the heart with a bow. It fits with the music like this. In our virtual circle here, let's take hands around the world. Let's take hands with the people of Afghanistan, the people of all countries where there is conflict, and bring that peace. So we're going to step out, expanding our circle to include all of this. Allahu, then stepping in, raising our arms. This strength together, this solidarity. Peace is power. And then turning to the right, and then we'll bow. Peace, Ya Salaam. Ya Salam, Ya Salam, Ya Salam. Allahu Akbar. So again, that's something you could come back to during the week if you remember. Breathing a prayer for peace, finding your own place of peace and power and strength. This is how we can bring the blessing of who we are, the blessing of the greater reality to earth here and now. This is how we make heaven on earth. Thou art that. Every one of us here, every one, every being. So with prayers for the alleviation of suffering and for the awakening of all beings, let's close our time with this blessing. May all beings be well. May all beings be happy. Peace. 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 Ya Salam.
Ya Salam, Ya Salam.
Ameen.